Hello everybody, welcome to this tutorial. So in today's video, I want to show you how you can use Windows Movie Maker 2019. It is pinned down here on my taskbar, so if I open it, Movie Maker, Easy Movie Making, Ignite Your Story. So this is the 2019 Movie Maker version. And there are some things I want to mention before I show you how to edit your videos or photos on this version of Movie Maker. Now the first thing, if I just click on Help up here, Online Help, the first thing you need to know is that it's called MovieZilla. So it's being marketed as Movie Maker 2019. However, the name is MovieZilla. So that's the first thing I want you to be aware of, just in case you're looking for something related to Movie Maker 2019 and you can't find it. Maybe under the name of MovieZilla you will. Also, this website here offers more information about MovieZilla or Movie Maker 2019. So feel free to browse this website. So the second thing is where to download Windows Movie Maker from. This website here called www.topwin-movie-maker.com is a website that I have already featured on my other videos, and this is where you can download the classic version of Movie Maker. When I say classic version, I'm talking about this version here, so the 2016 classic version. When it comes to the Movie Maker 2019 version, this is where you can find that download here. So if you click on download, you will download this version here onto your computer. And I guess if you're watching this tutorial, you probably already have this version on your computer. Windows Movie Maker 2019 costs around $29. If you don't pay for your software, then as it says here, your outputted video will be added a watermark. So just be aware of that. You need to pay for it before you can export your video without a watermark. Alright, so now that that's cleared, how do we use Windows Movie Maker 2019? Let's get started. So when you open Movie Maker 2019 or MovieZilla, this is the dashboard area. So this is the area where you can import your files. This is your preview box, and this area here is your timeline. So this is where you can add all of your clips and pictures and edit them. Here is where the magic happens. So this is the menu area. If you want to import your files, click on the plus sign here, or you can click on where it says import files. And if you want to import a folder, then click on import folder. Now I'm going to select this picture here, and if I hold down the Control key on my keyboard, I can select more than one clip or photo. So I'm just going to select everything here and open. So you can see all of my clips and photos have been added to this area here. And now we have a clip showing in the preview box. Also, all of my clips and photos have been added to my timeline. Now, the first thing I recommend is that you zoom to fit timeline. So if you click here where the arrows are pointing outwards, you can see all of my clips and photos are now visible to my naked eye. So I can see them exactly, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to see what I have on my timeline. Now, this is the cursor, or this is the magic wand. I'm going to move my cursor all the way to the beginning here. Now, if you want to play what's on your timeline, just press this button here where it says play. Okay, so this is a picture. And you can see this picture is 4 seconds long, or about 4 seconds long.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video.
Okay, and then the second clip is me talking. Now, if you want to adjust the duration of your picture or a clip, this is how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. So I want to adjust the time here, and I want to make it shorter. So the way to do that is I want to double click on the picture, and when I double click, you will see that there's this yellow outline around my picture. That means it's selected. And when you double click on it, this window here opens, and this is where you can change the duration of your picture. You can also make other adjustments. For example, you can increase or decrease the contrast, as well as the saturation, the brightness, and the temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply change the duration of my picture to 2 seconds. I'm going to write here 2. And then I'm going to click OK. All right. So my picture now should be 2 seconds long rather than 5 seconds long, which is what it was before. 1, 2. That's right. So 2 seconds. You can see the time here. Now, when it comes to this clip here, I'm talking. Let me just play that a little bit.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video.
Okay, now what I want to do is I want to cut part of this video. And the first part that I want to cut is the beginning of the video. So what I need to do is I need to select the clip or the video. To do that, simply click on the clip like so. Again, you can see the yellow outline around the clip. And actually, again, what I need to do is I need to zoom out a little bit. So now the full clip is showing on my timeline, and that just makes it easier to edit. All right, now let me just play a little bit so that I know where to cut from.
Hello.
Okay, so I want to cut that first part of the video before I start talking. Okay, so I'm just going to move the cursor a little bit, all the way till here. Let me zoom out slightly. Okay, all the way till here. And now I'm going to click on the split video. Okay, this is the cut, like a scissors cutting. There you go. That's the icon for cutting. So click on it, and now my video is split, and this is the part that I want to remove. So I want to make sure it's selected. How do I know it's selected? Because the yellow outline is around this clip. And then I'm going to click on this icon here where it says remove, and that's how I can remove that part of the clip. All right, now if I play back.
Hello everyone, welcome to...
Yeah, that's okay. Now if I want to undo what I've just done, I can press Ctrl and Z on my keyboard, and that will undo what I've just done. So Ctrl Z, there you go. You can see my clips there. If I click again Ctrl Z, it's undone what I've just done. So I've cut the first part of my clip. Now I want to cut the last part as well. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit just to have my clip here in full view. And I'm going to select the clip again by clicking on it. And then I'm just going to drag it in all the way to where my cursor is here. And the reason for this is because all of this part of the clip I don't need, okay? So the way to do that is move your cursor all the way to the end of the clip till you see the 2 arrows pointing outwards, and then you want to click and hold down with your mouse and just drag it in. Just move it all the way to the left until where your cursor is, and then let go, and you can see all of that clip now has been removed. So if I play from the beginning.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video.
Now if I want to fade out the audio of where I'm talking right at the end, I can double click on my clip, and then you will see this box appear. And if I want to adjust the audio of my clip, I click on audio here, and I can fade out what I'm saying at the end, and this is what I want to do. So I'm just going to see if I can do that here. So let's say 10 seconds. Okay, and if I play that again.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So today I'm going to show you our place here.
Okay, I think that's much better. So if you want to speed up your clip, or if you want to make it slower, what you need to do is select the clip or photo that you want to speed up or apply slow motion to. So let's say, for example, this one. So you can see there's the yellow outline around it. So I'm just going to double click on it, and then you will see this window appear, and here's where you can make it faster or slower. So at the moment it's at 1. I'm going to increase that to double the time, so to 2. So it's double the time, and you can see it's a bit shorter now. And I'm going to click OK. If I just play that back, so I'm moving the cursor just before it, and now I'm going to play. So you can see that was a lot quicker than what it was before. So this is how you can speed up a clip or apply slow motion. So the next thing I want to show you how to do is to add text or credit to your clips or photos. So what we want to do is click here where it says text/credit here on the menu area. And then you have all of these different options that you can choose from. So in all, there are 76 different styles and options that you have here. So for example, you have 19 openers. So if I click on the opener, you can see you can choose from all of these different beautiful openers. You also have 8 end pages. And if you see the arrow pointing down, it means that you need to download it first before you can use it. Then we have 6 credits. And you can add these at the end of your video. If you want to preview any of the styles, simply double click like so, and it will then show here in the preview box. So what I'm going to show you how to do is to add an opener, also to add a credit and a caption. So if you want to add an opener, click here where it says opener, and let's just choose this one here. This one looks quite cool. So if I just double click on it to preview, alright, so that looks pretty cool. Now if I want to add it to my timeline, I can either click here where it says apply to timeline, and if I do that, it will apply it to the beginning of my timeline. Or I can also drag it to my timeline. So if I use my mouse and I hold down the left part of my mouse, I can drag it to where I want it to be. And I'm going to place it right at the beginning of my timeline, like so. There you go. Now once I drag it onto my timeline, you will see this window appear here, and this is where you can add your text. So I'm going to add here in capital letters, house tour, because that's what the video is about. I can also add more than one text box by clicking here where it says add text. You can move it to wherever you want it to be here in the preview area. And I can also remove a text box by clicking here where it says remove text. I can also play around with the text style by clicking the arrow pointing down here. And I can also change the text size as well, or the font size, again clicking on the arrow down here. So I do encourage you to play around with all of these different options. So you can also increase and decrease the opacity, and you can also change the animation here as well. Once you're happy, you can click on OK. Let me just preview this very quickly. So I'm moving the cursor right to the beginning of my timeline, and now I'm just going to press play. All right, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is to add a credit at the end of your video. You can either click on apply to timeline, or you can drag it to your timeline. So let's say, for example, we want to add this one here. I click on it and then I drag it to my timeline, just the way that you see me do with the opener. And then I can plug it right here. And this is where you can add your text. And then once you're happy with your creation, you can click on OK. Again, you can make modifications here. The next thing is to add a caption. So I'm going to click on caption, and I want to add the caption here to my first image. So I'm going to move my cursor to the first image. You can see now the first image is showing in the preview box. And then I'm going to drag the caption box down to the image. So you can see I have added the caption underneath this picture here, and because it's quite long, it also overlaps to the next clip. So we can shorten that in a second. But the first thing I want to do is to add my text or my caption, and this is where I can do that. And I want the caption to be as long as my first picture. So I'm going to drag it from the back again. If I click on it, the arrows are pointing outwards, and this is when I can drag it in or out. So I'm going to use my mouse to drag it in to the picture here. You'll see this white line automatically appear, and that just gives you an indication of where you need to stop so that it aligns directly with the first image. So that's pretty handy. So let me just show you another example. You can see this white line is also right at the end of the second clip, and it aligns right at the end of the second clip if you want it to be that long, but I don't. So I'm going to move it to the first picture, right to the end of the first picture. And now if I just play that back, you'll see here.
Hello everyone, welcome to
Okay, so that looks pretty cool already. To add transitions, we need to again go to our menu area here and click on transitions. I'm just going to apply transitions to everything. I'm going to click on random to all. Okay, there you go. So the software has chosen different transitions from here and it has added them in between my different clips and picture. So if I just play that back, I will show you how this looks.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video.
So the transitions look pretty cool, I have to say, and you can see this is where they've been placed. If you want to delete a transition, simply click on it and then click remove. So this is how you can remove it, and then you can drag a different one in between your clips or pictures. So let's just do it for this one, for example. And also if you want to adjust the duration of your transition, again, where the arrows are pointing outwards, once it's selected, of course, then you can drag it in. Also, one thing to note is that you have different types of transitions that you can choose from. In all, there are 31. You've got 8 basic, 17 fancy, and 6 line. All right, the next thing I want to show you how to do is how to add music. So let's shift here to music. And you can see here that Moviezilla has different music files that you can choose from. Some of them you have to download first, whereas others are already downloaded and you can use them. So if we want to add a music file, we can simply select it and then we can drag it to our timeline. Or we can load our own music from our computer. So here where it says load music, let me just load something that I've got on my laptop. So I'm going to select it and open. So this is it here, and I can again drag it to my timeline. So if I click again to all, so you've got 136 different types of musics that you can choose from here, by the way. On the left hand corner you can see the different music genres. So you've got chill, cinematic, classic. Okay, let's just choose that one. So I'm just going to drag it to my timeline, or I can also click apply to timeline. So let's just click apply to timeline. So where is it? Let's have a look at where the music file is. It's right here where you can see the music icon. If I double click on my music track, I can also adjust the volume. Also, I can fade it in and out. So let me fade it in. I can also adjust the speed if I want. I'm going to also fade it out at the end. And then I'm going to click OK. So it's so easy to use this software. I love it actually. Okay, so now that we've added music, I just want to play back the music track just for you to hear it a little bit. So again, I've moved my cursor right to the beginning and now I'm going to press on play here.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So today I'm going to show you our place.
All right, so that looks pretty cool. As you can see, I've got some emojis where I'm speaking here. So what I did was I added elements, and that's the next thing that I'm going to show you how to do very quickly. So if you want to add filters, overlays, or elements, it's the same way to do it. So let me just show you with filters. So if you want to add a filter, click on filter here in the menu area. And here you can choose from all of these lovely filters. And again, here on the left hand corner, you can see that in all there are 43 filters and there are different types of filters that you can choose from. So again, it's the same thing. If you want to apply the filter to your timeline, you can click here where it says apply to timeline, and that will add it to the beginning of your timeline, or you can drag it down to your timeline. So I'm just going to drag it down to where it is already, and I'm just going to apply it here. And you can see the filter has been applied to the dining set area. This is just random. And then you can also move the filter to wherever you want it to be. So if you don't want it to be there, maybe you want it to be here, you can move it. And if you want to delete it, simply select it and remove. Okay, so this is how you can apply a filter. And again, if you want to apply overlays, it's the same thing. Select, drag it down to where you want it to be. And then you can place it here somewhere. Let's say, for example, here, and then the overlay will be applied to the dining area. So let me just have a look. There you go, that looks good. If you want to make adjustments to the overlay, double click on it. This window appears. Let's reduce the opacity so it's not so strong. Maybe like so. Yeah, that's okay. And with elements, it's the same thing. Click on elements. As you can see, I've already added emojis. So I've simply moved my cursor here to where I'm speaking. And then you drag the emoji down again to where you want it to be. So I've put the emoji here. There it is. So once you apply it here to your timeline, it will appear here in the preview box, and this is how you can make it bigger or smaller. So you simply drag in the edges to make it smaller, like so. You can drag it in a bit more, and then we can move it around to where we want it to be. So here, for example, there you go. Another thing I want you to know is that you can add extra tracks. You simply click on Add Track, and then you can add a text track, an audio track, filter track. I'm just going to add a overlay media track. There it is. And then I can add another clip here on top of this clip if I want to maybe demonstrate what I'm talking about. Also, if you want to add a narration to your slideshow or your project, this is where you can do that. So click here on the microphone icon. If you click here on play, you're playing your video here in the preview box. But if you click here on the microphone, this is where you can record your voice. So what I usually use to record my voice is a USB microphone. So whatever you got to hand, plug it in and then click here on the microphone icon. And here it tells you in 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. And now my voice is being recorded. So hello lovelies, how are you doing? And then okay. And you can see it's added the narration here. And then you can move the narration to where you want it to be. And you can also delete the narration by selecting it. And then you can click here to remove it. So it's quite versatile, this video editing software. And this is pretty much how you can use it. All right, now the last thing, of course, is to export your project. You need to click on Export. So you can pretty much leave these settings. So it's already selected MP4 as a format, which is good. The resolution is 1280 by 720, which is pretty much what YouTube uses. So if you're doing this for YouTube, you can leave the settings as they are. Of course, you can name your video as you want it to be and then simply export. As you can see, it says your copy of software is not registered and the outputted video will be added a watermark. So I've talked about this already at the beginning. So yes, you need to pay $29.95, I think, so that this watermark will be removed. So just be mindful of that when you are using this software and you haven't yet gotten your copy. Okay, let's continue. Find target. Here, there it is. Okay, so let me just play that back.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So today I'm going to show you our place.
Now, if you want to save this project for editing at a later point in time, so you click on File and then Save Project As, and then you save it as whatever you want to save it as. So I'm just saving it as Movie Maker 2019 video, and then save. The project has been modified. Do you want to save the changes? Yes. And if I reopen the Movie Maker 2019, you see it's opening here. But if I go to File and open Recent, and you can see this is the project I've just saved. So if I open it, and then I can do some more editing if I want to do that. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more videos like this.